Kelly, and today we're making finger food that's fun. You guessed it, we're going to be making pizza. So many varieties of toppings that you can use on your pizza. Some of my favorite toppings are pineapple and corn. My pizza must always have pineapple and corn. Comment below what some of your favorite toppings are. You can have a vegetarian pizza, you can have a pepperoni pizza, or you can have a cheese pizza, which is just cheese and more cheese. But one thing that all types of pizzas must have is the perfect crust. Today I'm going to share with you how to make the perfect crust for your favorite pizza from scratch. So let's go over the ingredients. We have 1 pack of instant yeast. Now in the supermarkets you will see some at 7 grams or 11 grams. We're going to use the one 7 grams today. Or if you have the 11 grams pack, you can just use 1 tablespoon out of that. We have 1 tablespoon of sugar and 3/4 cup of warm water. Now it's important that the water be warm, not hot and not cold. It must be warm for the yeast to thrive. For making our dough, we also have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 teaspoon of salt. And for our toppings, now you can choose whatever toppings you want, but today we're making a vegetarian pizza, so we have corn, sweet pepper, veggie links, onion, grated cheese, pineapples, and our pizza sauce. Our first step is to make the yeast, the sugar, and the water together. So I'm going to add the sugar first. You want to make sure it dissolves. And once this has dissolved, you see, just stir it for like 30 seconds. Then we're going to add the yeast, and then we'll allow it to sit. Give it a nice gentle stir. And then we'll allow it to sit for about 5 minutes. You're going to see it's going to form this little foamy thing on the top of it after about 5 minutes as the yeast is really thriving. Then we're going to get ready to mix the dough. To a large bowl, we're going to add our 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Remember, we would have used some of the sugar just now, half of it, so we're going to add the other half of the sugar. Then we're going to add the 3/4 teaspoons of salt. We're going to get a whisk. We're going to just mix everything together so it's fully combined. Our yeast is ready. It has been about 5 minutes, and you will see the difference in the yeast. You will see it has a nice foam on the top, so the yeast is definitely active. So we're going to have an amazing crust. So we're going to form our dough. We have the well in the middle. Make sure you can see the very center. And then we're going to add our yeast, and we're going to form the dough. Is now ready. Now it's important that you should be able to put your finger in the dough and it not feel sticky. So once your dough has been kneaded well for about maybe 4 or 5 minutes, you should be able to put your finger in it and not feel anything. So we're gonna get ready to rest our dough now. So I'm gonna form it into a ball, a nice rustic ball, and we're gonna get a large bowl. And you can put some oil to the bottom of your bowl. You would say have some oil right here to the bottom. If you can see, I just put a little bit of cooking oil to the bottom. Olive oil, canola oil, whatever oil you have. Maybe like half of a teaspoon we're going to put to the bottom of the bowl. And then we're going to place our dough in the bowl. Just get some of that oil to put on the top. You know, give it a nice glisten. And we're gonna rest it for about 5 hours. Now we're not gonna just rest it. We're gonna cover it with some cling wrap because we want to remove all of the air from coming into our dough, and this will allow it to rise. We're going to cover it nice and tight. Remove all all of the air spaces. And we're gonna rest it in a warm area for about 5 hours. So if you're making your pizza for a party, make sure you start it earlier in the day, because it'll take about 5 hours for the dough to rest, and then you will see it will just rise. This dough has been resting and rising for over 5 hours, and you see, completely risen. Now this is just a fun part. I just like to give it a nice punch that reduces some of those bubbles. Now we're gonna get it out. Get rid of those bubbles. We're gonna get it out, and we're gonna prepare now to put it into our pizza. We're gonna form a nice circle with it, and we're gonna put it into our pizza pan. I'm gonna lightly knead it now for the final time. The dough should be pliable, not too soft, not too hard, just right. Now we want to get a nice shape, but the Italians would have formed a complete circle by hand, but I have my trusty rolling pin. So once we have a nice floured board still, I'm going to put it down and I'm going to lightly roll. It does not have to be the perfect circle. Remember, this is our homemade pizza from scratch. It doesn't have to be the perfect circle. We're going to go as close as possible to our circle. And when it's not getting there, we're going to use our fingers and stretch it, and we're going to pull it out. It actually looks like a heart, but we're not going for the heart shape today. We're going for the circle. Our dough. And we're going to put it into our pizza pan. It should be light on the inside. Oh, this is one ugly circle. It should be light on the inside and thick on the outside. So to help create the crust, we're gonna fold just a little bit on the outside just to create a nice crust. We're gonna preheat the oven at this time to 250 degrees. Now we're gonna add our toppings. Now remember, you can put whatever your favorite toppings are. Just in the comment section below, you just tell me what your favorite toppings are. My favorite toppings I'm using today. Once we have all of our toppings on, we're gonna bake it for about 20 minutes. And then we're done. From scratch is done, topped with all of my favorite toppings. I'm encouraging you to put your favorite toppings on it. If it's pepperoni, if it's just cheese, whatever it is. If it's a vegetarian pizza like mine, you go ahead and do it. I'm gonna put this to bake now for 20 minutes, and then it's gonna be done. It's done and it looks amazing. It's still hot, and you can just see the crust. When you touch it, it goes in, so it's not too hard, not too soft, the perfect crust. And you choose whatever toppings you want. Now it's time to taste. It's still a little hot. It smells great, and the crust, perfect. Finger food that is fun, that you can make at home. Homemade pizza? Now you need to try it. If you enjoy this homemade recipe video, just look over here, see some of my other videos. And once you've watched them all, just click the button below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Remember to leave me a comment. I love hearing from you.